everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Lady Morales. I'm your girl for all things law of attraction and spiritual awakening. It's such a pleasure to have you guys back again, and in today's video I am going to talk to you guys about why you should never run away from your negative emotions. Running away from your negative emotions is actually making things worse, not better. I was inspired to do this video because I was reading some of Mark Manson's stuff on his blog, some of his old stuff, as I was also filming my video on why The Secret doesn't always work, yesterday's video. And for those of you guys who don't know who Mark Manson is the author of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, one of my favorite, definitely my top 5 favorite reads for the law of attraction and self-help. He's really great. Pretty much I came across this blog of one of his old blogs about the Instagram bullshit of The Secret. As you can tell, he has his own little, his own little opinions about The Secret. I'll go ahead and leave the link to that blog down below because I really do think it's an interesting read and I think it would definitely be worth your time. There are some things on this blog that I do disagree with, but we're gonna get to that. It touches on a lot of amazing points, and I mean, like, when I read them I was like, oh my gosh, somebody pass him the offering basket, because it was just so good. How I preach this on my channel, that you should not run away from your negative emotions. It's just such a misconception in the law of attraction community that honestly pisses me off sometimes, where somebody will bring up like, oh my gosh, I'm doubting like the process, like I'm trying to manifest this guy, I've been trying to manifest this guy for 2 weeks and I'm already starting to doubt the process, and then somebody will coach them and tell them, no, think of the next best feeling thought, or oh no, think positive, think about what you're grateful for, which again, that works to an extent, but for the long term, you're not teaching yourself unconditional love, and it's going to do more harm than good for you in the future, because you're suppressing negative emotions. Negative emotions, as you guys all know that I preach, for me, I look at negative emotions as children. The children version of ourselves that want to be loved, that want to be cared, and that want to be heard. And you should change your relationship with your negative emotions. I mean, yeah, it is uncomfortable to sit with the negative emotions, but in the long run, it's going to do you so much more good than you think it is going to give you bad. And no, just because you focus on negative emotions or you sit with the negative emotions and you allow them to be there, it does not mean that the universe is going to give you more of that. The universe doesn't hate you like that. The universe wants you to learn. The universe wants you to expand. So with that being said, one thing that before I get into it, just so you guys, again, don't think I'm a negative Nancy, when you read this article, he is going to talk about a thing called confirmation bias. He specifically says in the paragraph how The Secret actually works, in paragraphs, or in parentheses, sort of. He talks about, just the psychological, quote-unquote realistic perception of the universe and The Secret and the law of attraction, and what it actually is in his eyes. And he says that confirmation bias is a human's mind's tendency to notice and pay more attention to objects and experience that match its pre-existing thoughts and beliefs. I actually don't agree with that. The confirmation bias I don't agree with. I've seen things in my life that out of the blue, out of nowhere, like no chance that I think was going to happen actually happened. Like people that I hadn't seen in years just out of the nowhere pop up, or just in general. I have a whole entire synchronicity journal that I keep of just things that have just manifested on its own that really, the whole confirmation bias, I don't know. That's one thing I disagree on it. And so I just want to go ahead and give you that disclaimer because that was one thing that just stuck to me and I was like, I don't know about that. I do think that this statement really pretty much highlights it all. I mean, really it comes down to the core of what I believe to be true, and why I 100% believe that you should never run away from your negative emotions. And here is why. He says in his article, psychological research shows that trying to suppress thoughts about something only makes those thoughts more likely to recur. Amen. In fact, premonition and obsession appear to operate in this manner, especially in people with chronological mental disorders like OCD, depression, and anxiety. Amen. The more you try to get rid of unwanted thoughts, the more these thoughts dominate your mental space. It's like if I tell you, never, which we've all heard this, never think about a pink elephant, because the first thing that likely pops up into your mind is a pink elephant. Thinking about the things you do not want lead to more negative thinking and put you in a vicious cycle of negativity. Y'all, I don't even know where to go with this. Is if everybody read this statement on the planet, when I tell you guys that trying to think positive and running away from my negative emotions in the past, when incorporating other techniques about the positive thinking and raising your vibration techniques, those led me to depression. I'm not kidding you. And I would beat myself up because I kept being told in these seminars, and again, I am responsible for my own life, so I'm not gonna like put the blame on anybody. When I was first learning about the law of attraction, when I first read The Secret, the people kept telling me, or coaches, seminars, they would say, don't think about the negative thoughts. Don't think about it. Think of the next best feeling thought. Like, your resistance should be ran. And I tell you guys, the more that I tried to get rid of the negative thoughts, the more that I would beat myself up for it. And the more that I would drive myself crazy, guys. It was a headache. Because I did all these charts and I did all these exercises to raise your vibration. It was a headache. I did not want to live the rest of my life just dropping everything that I was doing and then filling out like these charts with like 100 questions and like doing all, it's just, it led me to insanity, and it led me to, being depressed. If I'm being honest with you, it led me to being depressed because I was in this internal war. I would feel good for a week or two, and I was back to the negative thinking. And the more I try to get rid of those thoughts, the worse that everything got. So let's move on with his next statement. Again, I'm still trying to recuperate, y'all. Call me crazy. This is in the same section, I think. I'm not sure. Again, the link to the article is below. It's a really good read. Although I don't agree with all of it, I do like the things I'm talking to you guys about. I'm like, put a little flavor in there. Call me crazy. This is in his article. Call me crazy, but I believe that changing and improving your life requires, y'all ready? Destroying a part of yourself and replacing it with a newer, better part for yourself. It is therefore, by definition, a painful process full of resistance and anxiety. You can't grow muscle without challenging it with greater weight. You can't grow muscle without challenging it with greater weight. You can't build emotional resilience without forging through hardship and loss. Guys, many people have the law of attraction and The Secret so misconstructed, and it's being taught in a very lazy way, if I'm being very honest with you, and it just irks me. The universe wants you to succeed. The universe, and the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, the universe wants you to succeed. It wants you to. But I think one thing, as I said in my video, one thing that The Secret misses is that by following your passion, all of the external begins to change. All the materialistic things, I hate to say it, but all of the egocentric things that we want, those come. And I used to fall in that category. Like, I'm not trying to offend you. Like, you're not to blame. Like, you're not to blame. It's cool, whatever. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting materialistic things. I think what I'm trying to say is what The Secret focuses on is more like the materialistic things, but not the internal spiritual or the internal change that is required or that is needed for effortless abundance, which is following your passion. As he says, the pain, when you're embarking change, it is a painful process full of resistance and anxiety. Of course, guys, of course. When you're trying to change your life, you're leaving behind old habits, and you're coming in with the new. You're bringing in the new. Of course, there's gonna be resistance. Of course. There's nothing wrong with that. I remember, like, when I was recovering from an eating disorder and I was trying to, like, heal from depression, I had to do things that were outside of my comfort zone. I had to eat my fear foods. I had to be comfortable with the weight gain. As much as I hated it, I had to go through the weight gain, and I had to recover my hunger signals, and I had to really, like, find life again outside of weight and food. I had to get back in touch with my life. It was painful. The eating disorder voice was so loud, telling me I couldn't do something. I'm going to be obese and overweight for the rest of my life and be lonely and miserable. It was telling me, like, fear foods, like all the foods that, like, everybody can be intuitive eaters but me. And it was just so loud, but I had to stick through with it. And that was how I learned. And that was how I grew, by separating myself from that eating disorder voice. And again, separating myself from that voice when I was depressed, telling me I wasn't worthy and that I sucked and I deserved to kill myself. I had to literally separate myself, and I had to go through that pain. And it's gonna be worth it at the end. We all want things just like to fall on our laps. Where's the joy of that? That you don't learn how to appreciate things like that. It's a very lazy way. And again, it works short term. Believe me, I know. It works short term, but in the long run, you will never ever be satisfied, because you're just going to want more and more and more and more. Again, why do you think millionaires, or people who win the lottery, why do you think they go broke? Because they haven't developed the mindset. They haven't gone through those changes, that resistance, that trial, that error, those failures to develop a millionaire mindset. Because they're coming from a place of scarcity to overnight abundance, but then the abundance doesn't last long, because they still have that mindset. Even though the exterior looks great, the interior, they're still like, oh, I need to buy this, and this, and they splurge, and then they're back to whatever. Think of people who are like, have amazing, beautiful bodies, what you would consider ideal bodies. And you'd tell yourself, I would give anything to look like her. But in her eyes, in that person's eyes, they still have like a pinch of fat to lose. And they're always at the gym, and they feel like they're so insecure. Even though they're posting like Fitspo pictures on Instagram all the time, they still like think they're fat. They still think like, they have fat to lose, and they have like so much to go. They post before and after pictures, and you're just like, girl, I'm trying to get to your before, okay? People who indulge in delusional positive thinking ironically become downright angry when someone tries to contradict their wall of airy-fairy thoughts. He has very vulgar language. I mean, he wrote a book about the subtle art not giving a fuck. I mean, come on, guys. The truth about their situation just becomes that much more painful to them. And I can attest to that. When I tried to manifest my ideal body in the past, I would feel good for a week, right? And I was just on this high vibration. Like, I was like, like, I know where I'm at, but like, I know my ideal body's coming. I have full faith in the universe, whatever. And I did my affirmations, visualization. I would feel good for a week, right? And then somebody would comment on my weight, and not a good way. They would insult me or whatever, and I would literally panic. I would have a panic attack. I am not exaggerating. I would have a panic attack. I would lock myself in my room, and I would cry. I would have anxiety. I would breathe really heavily, and that just came from one person's comment. And I sacrificed so much because of what one person said. But, I am supposed to have faith in the universe. Why am I thinking like this? I shouldn't let his comment think about me. It's the old me. But then, I was beating myself up. Like, it was a mental war. It was exhausting. So I say that to say that you can try your best to focus on the positive, and you're going to be on this amped up energy or whatever. But when somebody... Because again, when you're embarking on change, you're going to be met up with resistance, and there's going to be people who are going to tell you can't do something, that you're too ugly, you're too fat, you come from a different background, and if you're working on healing and integration, though that may sting, you're going to keep it moving. You're going to keep it moving. It won't affect you as much as somebody who hasn't done that mental work, who hasn't taken any action, who hasn't, who hasn't learned through trial, through error, through, failure. They're going to get affected by that, like me. They're going to get affected by that comment a lot more than somebody who's like actively working and, whatever. Finally, ultimately, the law of attraction states that if you think about what you want, it will come to you. When taken its logical extreme, it encourages you to always be wanting something, to never be content, and this can make us less happy in the long run. Amen. At some point, we must all come to terms with the struggles of failures in our lives because we all have them. Amen. This, ironically, is a more logical path to success than simply wishing insistently for all of your dreams to come true. Don't wish for good rewards, wish for good problems. You guys. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What did I just read? In the long run, you can go to a seminar, you're going to feel good for a week or two, and you're going to be like, yes, I am going to slay, I'm going to crush it, like, okay, like, it's, y'all. Because you guys know I'm very passionate about this. It all comes down to this. Your intention, take action, and awareness. Yes, I'm not saying no, I'm not bashing the law of attraction and The Secret. I 100% believe in the law of attraction and The Secret. Maybe, and again, I always disclaim this is maybe my limiting beliefs because again, you will believe your reality is a reflection of what you believe to be true for yourself. So maybe this is my limiting beliefs, but I'm coming from an experience of 10 years where I tried to think positive, be positive, manifest X, Y, Z, and run away from emotions. And again, all of that led to an internal mental war that ultimately drove me to depression and having suicidal thoughts because I couldn't stand the fact that I could not think positive to save my life. And as much as I tried to run away from the negative thoughts, they just kept growing and growing and building momentum. So I'm simply just speaking to you from my experience. Set an intention, what it is that you want. Again, materialistically, everything that you want, materialistically, is a reflection of you doing your passion for your living, of you doing what you love for a living. Okay? But again, set the intention, take action on what it is that you want. So what would your ideal self be doing? Would your ideal self, if they had a Lamborghini, would they be eating bonbons watching TV? Maybe yes, on a day off. But what would you be doing to keep up with the maintenance of the Lambo? Like how are you going to keep up with the maintenance? Where are you driving it to? Are you just leaving it in your car garage? Like, and even then, like boyfriend, a girlfriend, would your ideal self be at home watching like Hallmark movies? No, they would probably be going out. So take yourself out, go somewhere with your friends. Take inspired action, guys. Take inspired action. And of course, with change comes resistance. It's normal, guys. It's 100% normal. If there's anything you get from my content, is don't run away from the resistance and negative emotions. Just be aware of it and just keep telling yourself as the resistance is there, I am not my mind. For me, it helps. I am not the mind. I am not the mind. And is it gonna suck? Yeah, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. You guys hear me say that time and time again on this channel. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. I wish I could tell you there's an easy way out, but nothing worth it. For me, I believe nothing worth having in life comes easy. I love the fact that I put in all the hard work and it pays off. It's like the most amazing feeling after people have told me, you're never going to get that, you're never going to amount to that, you're never going to accomplish that, and just me putting in the work and knowing once I reach success, they're all like, who's laughing now? Like, it's just no greater feeling in the world. Again, be aware of the resistance. Just separate yourself from it. Just know that it's normal. Keep telling yourself, I am not the mind. Over time, it'll get better. Over time, that energy will begin to dissipate and you will be your natural self. And I guarantee you guys, manifestation is a lot easier. All right. Telling you guys that article, I was like, oh my god, I wish I could give him the offering basket. It was so good. Again, there's some parts I don't, but from what I understood, I don't think he believes in the law of attraction. I 100% believe in the law of attraction. My issue is with the whole negative resistance and just sit at home and eat bonbons to manifest $1 million in your mailbox. Like, that to me is like, I'm like, really? I tried that for 10 years or something along the lines of that, and it just never worked. The complete opposite. Don't forget to like and subscribe to, no, I'm sorry, still getting used to this. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm sure I'll put the link somewhere below, or my username somewhere below. I still don't have an ending for this video, and I know I need to stop saying that. Speak what you want, not what you don't, okay? So with that being said, I will see you guys on the next video. I appreciate you guys so much for sticking to the end. I hope this video made sense, and I hope it helped. And as always, sending you guys all the great vibes in the world. Don't run away from your negative resistance. I'm gonna come and get you. Okay, bye.